When it comes to gaming channels, affirmation is winning out over information. Stay with me. There's a huge difference between telling you what you want to hear and telling you what you need to hear. And what you need to hear is the absolute truth. No spin, no ridiculous fanboy drama, just what is being reported accurately, factually. So before we begin, I'm going to read you some titles to YouTube videos that were made after this article released. Here's the first one. I'm just picking these at random. PS5 is the console for gamers, says Bethesda. Here's one. PS5 is the best next generation console according to an exclusive Microsoft studio. I can go on and on. Let's get to the actual article now, and I want you to pay attention to the first sentence because that is written by the writer of this article, and then the next paragraph is the actual quote from Arkane Studio. Deathloop developer Arkane Studios believe that PS5 exclusivity has proven extremely integral to the smooth development process of the game. Now here's what was actually said. I don't think we would have been able to preserve the level of ambition of this game were it not for the move to next gen. It's always heartbreaking when you get to the end of a project and you have to optimize things, and now you have to cut your map in half and you have to justify why it's in two parts. That's literally it. That's the interview. That's the information people are using to affirm that the PlayStation 5 is the best next generation system according to Arkane Studios. Now most normal people reading this would get the information that he's talking about next generation hardware and the ability it gives developers to really push further than they ever have before, and the creative freedom that they have now doesn't have to be constrained because of next generation hardware. He's not specifically talking about the PlayStation 5, and just because there's a deal in place for Deathloop to be exclusive to PlayStation 5 right now doesn't infer that he's only talking about PlayStation 5. He specifically mentions next-gen hardware. And what is next-gen hardware? PS5, Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. So there's a huge difference between giving you information and then spinning it to give you affirmation. And I'm struck with how ridiculous that is. How ridiculous reading this is and then spinning it any other way than what is actually said. Think about what Denzel Washington said about the news.
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
Gaming journalism, gaming media, gaming channels, they all spin news and they're not informing you. They're misinforming you. And it's amazing to me, again, that this article can be interpreted any other way than praising next generation hardware. Again, just because the game is exclusive to PlayStation 5 doesn't mean that they're talking specifically about the PlayStation 5. Yes, the PlayStation 5 is a very powerful system, very capable system, and it gives them the ability to push beyond, to not constrain their vision and to create exactly what they want. That's next-gen hardware. But next-gen hardware isn't only PlayStation 5, and if you read that first paragraph, that's the paragraph where the writer actually puts in what he wants you to think and what he wants you to hear. But he has to include the quote as well, and the quote talks about next-gen hardware, not PS5 specifically, and this is the huge problem around giving people information instead of telling them what they need to hear. It's almost political now. If you want to hear the news spun one way, you go to CNN. If you want to hear the news spun the other way, you go to Fox News. And the rest of us are trying to figure out what the hell is actually going on. It's really a shame that this has trickled down now into gaming, because gaming is much less important than actual world events, but we're doing it here now. We do it everywhere. And I understand people want to have exciting titles in their videos, and maybe you want to hear positive PlayStation news. And personally, I don't understand wanting to hear what you want to hear over and over and over again, rather than expanding your horizons and getting actual information that isn't spun by the person presenting it to you, but to each their own. But I just found this to be incredibly disingenuous. This is a developer praising next generation hardware, and that's exciting because whether or not you own a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X or an Xbox Series S like me, or you own everything, which eventually I will as well, this is a developer telling you how great next generation hardware is and what it means for them and the creative process, and what you, the gamer, is going to get. The end result is going to be the vision that they had without any compromises. That's what this article should be about. That's what Bethesda and Arkane were inferring when they said next generation hardware allows for visions that are not constrained. Not that the PlayStation 5 allows for visions that are not constrained. Not that the PlayStation 5 is the best next generation system you can buy. And certainly they weren't inferring that the PlayStation 5 is somehow better than the Xbox Series consoles. I'm going to link this article in the description below. It's a great read. It's a great developer affirming how amazing next generation hardware is and how it allows for great experiences for the gamer. I think you'll enjoy reading it, and I definitely think you'd enjoy hearing the actual factual news and not something spun to make you feel better about a purchase. Thanks for watching. Think about liking and subscribing and sharing this video out on your favorite social media platform of choice. I am humbled and really excited by all the new subscribers. Thank you so much. I'm doing my best to make this content better and better and better. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.